edition of A Queen's Eye View. 3 women, 3 different views, all on one show. We all have 2 eyes, but we definitely don't see things the same. But most times we leave with a different opinion. You'd agree, Heidi?
I agree.
Okay, I'm Shay, and alongside me tonight is Heidi, and Dawn Michelle is en route. Dawn, we're waiting on you. But while we're waiting, we're broadcasting live this evening from 600 Degrees Pizza. And might I say, this pizza is very, very good.
Absolutely.
We'd like to thank Mike and our bartender, who's going to be our friend in a minute, Kiara, for having us this evening. We're on 5415 Old National Highway in College Park. Is that how they say it?
College Park.
How you say it?
College Park.
Okay, I can't say that. You say that.
College Park.
We're in College Park. I don't come down inside too often
that?
other than the airport. Okay. All right.
It's
But we like
South Side.
South Side? Okay, where'd I live?
You live up north with them other folks.
Anyway, that's another show, another topic. We'd like to thank you all for tuning in this week. We ask you to also log on and like our Facebook page, which is A Queen's Eye View. We also ask you to get your friends, your families to tune in to www.myjbn.com/Queens. Queens with a lowercase q. That's www.myjbn.com/Queens. Also, we ask that you like our other page, MyJBN. Hey, Ivy.
Hey, girl.
Can you give me another slice of pizza? I'm
think
sorry,
about
I'm
it.
distracted here. Okay. Okay, Dawn's online, I think, with us. Hey, Dawn. How you doing this evening?
Hi, ladies. I'm sorry I'm not there. Trying to multitask today.
Well, we're going to be sorry when you don't have any pizza when you get here, so we're just going to apologize ahead of time because Roy's on his way back to the box. You know? But
What?
And then Darren versus Peter's still up in here too, so you really ain't gonna have none, Dawn.
My question is, didn't he have pizza for his show?
That's what I'm
Mike, didn't
saying.
he have pizza for his show
Why
already?
you all up in our box?
Well, don't let
Okay.
He'll try to take over. He'll try to take over a Queen's Eye View. Let him know it's
Okay,
not for
Mike-
the king.
Oh, okay.
We got you, Dawn.
Okay, I'm sorry, DVP. Well, you can delete that selfie we took then, if you're going to look at me like that. You can go ahead and post them now. I got some comments too. But anyway, we're not going to get started with the King's Eye View because you see that's what happens. Whenever we have the dudes around, they try to take over our show.
Absolutely.
You know
I
what
know
I mean?
they do. That's what they do. They just think they got to be in charge of the whole thing all the time.
I'm telling you. And DVP, I heard him talking about women on the show. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all what he was saying because I don't know if y'all got a chance to tune in. And Roy over here, he got a chance to shine, and he was talking about the queens like to drink and they like to do this. So we got something for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got something for him. I was like, See, they don't think we be listening, but I was listening today. He was like, oh, the queen's going to be here in a minute. And if you guys want something to say, you better say it now because they do not let men talk. They'll say, this is not a king's eye view. This is a queen's eye view.
I'm a little offended by that, Roy.
Oh, I ain't offended because it's true.
All right.
But we gave them too much shine already, like you said, Dawn. We're not even going to talk about them anymore. But before we start with our show for the evening, we always like to check in with our queens and see how our week has been thus far. So we're going to start with you, Dawn Michelle. How's your week going so far?
So far, not too bad. I'm really looking forward to my weekend because I don't have to sing this weekend. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm actually glad. I'm going to get to do some things I want to do, and I'm really looking forward to some relaxation and some me time. So
That's awesome. Me time is fantastic. Everybody needs some downtime.
Definitely.
yes.
Heidi
So,
Ross Anderson.
I'm looking forward to it.
So Heidi, how about your week so far?
My week is going awesome. I've been busy pulling together this conference. As of today, for our Antoine Fisher conference, we have over 330 registered participants. In Macon, our goal was 350. And when I finish
Awesome.
my VIP list, it'll be 350, so I reached my goal. I just want to thank everybody who supported and participated. And I got calls from a few fans from A Queen's Eye View who actually registered from the conference. So I do appreciate that. I want to let you know that, Roy. They are listening out
Awesome.
there in Radio Land. So we look forward to seeing you on November 19th in Macon. at the 8th Annual Children's Advocacy Centers of Georgia Prevention of Child Abuse Conference with the lead speaker is Antoine Fisher.
That's awesome.
What's that? What you miss, Shay? How's your week?
I got a question. You said VIP list. Hey, Dawn Michelle, did you get an invitation for the conference yet?
I did not.
Right. So she said she have a few more to sign up, so we're gonna let her slide till after the show because I don't remember being put on that VIP list. I'm just saying, but you know how people change on you. I ain't gonna put nobody out on Front Street, but I just know that I didn't get invited and I'm not on the VIP list, and I thought we were radio sisters.
Dawn, I'm drawing a heart, and you can't see, but I love you all both. I had to start with
Raspberries.
with the VIPs who, contributed dollars. They had to come first. Sorry. Just saying.
Anyway,
Love y'all.
my week has been. Look, we're gonna skip right over that, Dawn Michelle. We're gonna talk about
She
that
just
off
kept
the air.
she just kept it real with us and kept it moving.
But I had a good week this week. Things are going smooth. I had a nice day today. No complaints, I trust God for everything, and He moves in His time, not mine. But He's definitely opening my eyes to some new opportunities and some new things. So I'm going to continue to do what I normally do, trust Him and wait on Him. So,
Absolutely.
well, we have an exciting show this
do.
evening, and I'm really excited about it. First of all, we want to say that yesterday was Veterans Day, so we'd like to thank all our veterans out there for your support, those that are now serving and those that are retired vets.
Absolutely. And if you went out there and you saw any soldiers in the street, men and women alike, we hope that you took the time to stop and acknowledge their service, because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have defense in this country. So we definitely want to acknowledge our veterans.
Absolutely. And not just on Veterans Day, I'd say every day.
Absolutely.
Every day that you see someone that you know is serving our country and fighting for us so that we don't have to fight and that we have the rights that we have, say thank you, because that'll go a long way.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Well, tonight we're talking about choices and decisions. Who can make them and why? We're also going to talk about the sex slave trade. That's really, really popular here in Atlanta. So we're going to discuss that. And we're going to talk about standing by your spouse for better or for worse. I don't know.
Dawn Michelle, did you hear that?
I am.
Okay. We want to make sure you heard that last subject matter.
Right. Dawn's going to talk a little bit about that, about standing by your spouse for better or for worse, marriage vows. So we're going to have her talk about that. And tonight, Heidi's going to talk about Boko.
Yeah, tonight I'm going to give a little bit of update about Boko Haram and some really serious things that has just recently happened. But I want to tie them into a little bit about what's going on here in the United States. So we want everybody to continue to listen because it's going to be some definitely good information.
Absolutely. And then we're going to talk a little bit about Ferguson, what's going on there now, because they're getting close to a decision. And so, there's going to be a lot of things happening. And we want to talk a little bit about choices and decisions, the ones that we should make and the ones that we shouldn't make. So we're going to have a really, really interesting show this evening. And we ask that you all stay tuned. Again, contact your friends via your Facebook or your social networking sites, which is www.myjbn.com/Queens with a lowercase q. That's myjbn.com/Queens with the lowercase q. And I'm going to go ahead and give you out the phone number now because we really do want you guys not only to listen in, but to call in. And also you can chat with us online. And that's 678-701-3738. That's 678-701-3738. Well, we're going to ask you to hold on a second, Dawn, because we're going to take a quick break, and we're coming back to you live, broadcasting from 600 degrees here at 5415 Old National Highway. Stay with us. College Pie.
College Pie.
College Pie.
A passion for what you do plus investing in your skills equals the promised success that is Salon Envy. The vision for Salon Envy is to provide a professional working environment for the staff filled with positive energy, genuine respect for one another, and continuing education to stay on top of this ever-changing industry. Our goal for our clients is to create an experience that keeps you coming back for more. We are an exclusive beauty boutique with a team of hairstylists working alongside brow and makeup care specialists. We provide refreshments daily and a soothing ambiance with plenty of fun and laughter. We exude comfort, class, and style. So stop in and visit them at 865 Indian Trail in Lilburn, Georgia. Book your appointments at 770-686-3417 or check them out online at salonenvyatl.com. And remember, at Salon Envy, don't just envy, indulge.
Everyone needs a way to add gold to their financial portfolio. Carrot Bars International makes gold affordable to the masses with the freegoldplan.com. Get gold in 24-karat 999.9% pure gold bullion in small affordable weights. Save your money in gold and even get paid to share with others how to do the same. No broker fees, no setup fees, and with referrals, your gold can be free. Go to thefreegoldplan.com. That's thefreegoldplan.com now.
Oh, this has been a day I want to forget. From not finding my keys, to running late for my big meeting, then having the client cancel the meeting, to my boss wanting to revamp the entire proposal this weekend. This is really a day for a hot tub and a big glass of my Tranquility wine.
The skilled winemakers of Countryside Vineyards craft quality muscadine grapes into fine wine. Known for their distinctive flavors and characters, these hybrid southern grapes create a sweet class of robust wine. So the next time you're out, ask for Tranquility Wines or order yours online today by visiting them at floridavineyard.com.
Now this is just what I needed. Tranquility Wine. Why can't everything be this relaxing?
Tranquility Wines, for those times when nothing else matters. Please enjoy responsibly and remember, you must be 21 years old to drink.
From 600 Degrees Pizza here at, you got to do the address, because 5415 Old National. 5415.
5415, my bad, Old National Highway, College Park, Georgia.
No, that's not College Park. You said it was college.
You just want me to do it the southern way, College Park. But anyway, College Park, Georgia.
We're here with Mike and Tiara.
Definitely.
Hey!
Hey, Tiara, who's the best bartender ever. And I don't know yet, but I'm going to check that out. Trust me.
Not me, Pastor. I don't drink. I'm having water, Pastor.
Whatever, Shay.
Get that man some water, too, something in his throat. But we thank you for joining us this week to another edition of A Queen's Eye View. And we're really excited to bring you guys, some information, some things that are going on and things that really affect us, not just here, in our homes, but in our communities and overall affect us, globally. So we're going to start with you this evening, Heidi. You're going to talk a little bit about Boko Haram. And, education is very important and it's key. And some things that we take for granted and we assume that we are entitled and have the right for. And in some places not so far from where we are now, they're fighting to have that.
Definitely.
So can you share a little bit with us about that?
Yeah, so last week I was watching TV, and you know how you get up early in the morning and you see, reports really quick of terrorism, but they go by so fast. But this one extremely struck me, and a school once again in Nigeria was hit by a blast, and 47 young men who were students were killed, and 79 young people and adults were injured in a suicide bombing in the middle of a school assembly. A young man dressed as a student walked into the school's assembly. Some of the students that were there were watching him, and they did question him, but he blew himself up in the middle of this assembly and killed 46 other young men. And, it just hurt my heart. Now, we already know that Boko Haram had already kidnapped 300 schoolgirls earlier this year.
Right.
And it was a big deal. But see, when I went a little deeper into I went to the BBC to do a little bit more research, I realized that it wasn't just about the girls. It was about the state them making this a true, in their words, a true Islamic state.
Right.
So Boko Haram means Western education is forbidden. So their whole point is they blew up the school because they don't want boys to learn anything but traditional Quran teachings. And they kidnapped the 300 girls because they feel girls should not have an education at all. They should just be married off. Wow. So in that country, true Islamic speaking, in their impression, is that education should have nothing to do with Western ways of Western civilization. It kind of irked me a little bit. I was thinking about it because I was thinking about us here in America,
right,
how we've had several school shootings and things like that has happened with our own young people, and the reasons they have behind, you know, the things that they're doing on our end. But it did make me think, why is it always that when it comes to the Western style education, a lot of international way has a real issue with that. It has a real issue with what's going on here. So, okay, anybody who travels abroad knows that most people across seas think that we're spoiled, we're wasteful, our children get everything they want, you know, we're very capitalistic in this country. It is America. So the American way is, you know, the American dream is to have your own company, make a lot of money, have your house, 2.5 kids, and your white picket fence, and all that goes along with it.
Right.
You know, and so a lot of times they feel like our values and our system are very materialistic, very capitalistic, and they don't want those teachings taught to their kids. Not only that, well, not they, just this particular group.
Right.
Because obviously the Nigerian government has other ideas. They are trying to educate their children. But I think they're going to think anything outside of Islamic teaching is westernized education.
I agree with that.
Because we don't even know what that looks like for them. We don't know what they're learning on a day-to-day basis.
Exactly.
I mean, you just learning how to read your ABCs, that could be anybody's education.
Correct.
Or learning math or science.
But what are they actually teaching them?
But what are they actually teaching them? So I brought this up because it really sort of bothered me, and I wanted to also tie it into Veterans Day. Mm-hmm. Because it was Veterans Day yesterday, and I was talking to some friends of mine who are Black Israelites.
Okay.
And one of the guys that was with us is
fine.
Black
Don't go.
And he works in the community, and he was talking to me on the corner, and he was saying that, look, he was saying, you know, you guys shouldn't be immersed in American culture. You guys shouldn't be, you know, soaking up all the teachings because a lot of it is lies and hypocrisy, you know, the history.
Okay, wait, let me ask you this. So you're saying he's here on a corner in America, telling you should not be soaking up the, okay, I just want to be clear.
Right,
okay.
the American history and what?
Right.
Now, I'm a college educated woman, Shay.
Right.
Most of the people I know are college educated. I'm fully aware that all history has a twist. Mm-hmm. Depending on who's telling.
Right. Everything has a twist.
Absolutely.
Right.
So anybody who's got a little bit of education knows that already.
Or common sense.
Or some common sense.
Right.
Anybody who knows America, who says America was founded by Columbus, yeah, they need to read a little longer. You know what I'm saying? These are things you should already know, because we know that's not the case. But the point is, he kept going on and on about the education, about the food, about the water supply, and I thought to myself, if you're so anti-American and you don't want to be here, why are you here?
That's my point.
Why can't you stand on the corner in another country and shout, rah, rah, this is what you should be doing and this is what you're doing?
Right, because they can't have that freedom of speech there.
All of them gave me that blank face.
Right, because they can't do it there.
Right, because there are certain creature comforts that America affords that they don't want to give up.
Absolutely.
And however you want to call freedom, whatever you want to call it, we all know there's governmental control, the ID system, the police, the whatever. But still, in America, we have a little bit more freedom than most. So I think they don't want to let that go.
Of course not.
I kind of feel like it's hypocritical. So I just wanted to put it out there to our listeners, Because once again, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care what you believe in. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But for you to stand up there and tell me what I shouldn't be doing, and you and I in the same place,
Right.
and you and I both live down the same street in College Park. You know what I mean? With my nice apartment and my water supply and I'm hooked into the energy system. I think it's a little hypocritical.
No, it's not little. It is a lot. Because that's another thing you want to tout about it, but you're right here.
Absolutely.
So I would say just go wherever your beliefs originated from, and you stand on that corner there and you talk about it. But they don't have that right. They don't have freedom of speech there to do that. So you're here to try to. So I guess my thought is this. So are you here to try to convert or to gain followers so that you could possibly have this society look like that society over there?
Absolutely. I don't know. John, I don't know. What was your thoughts when to pull you in? John?
I mean, I really agree with everything that y'all have said. You know, like you said, they're so hypocritical of what we do here, but they're all coming here. So, I mean, really, I totally agree. I really can't say anything differently than what y'all have already said, because everything y'all just said is exactly how I feel about it, too.
You know, when I think about it, I say that every time somebody gets into trouble, who do they want to call?
The police.
They want to call America.
Right.
Every country that has a problem, let's call America. The plane goes down in Malaysia, let's call America. You know, this happens, let's call America. But you want to complain about everything that we do here, but yet when you need some assistance or some help, let's call America. For instance, the Nigeria's ambassador I was reading, he criticized Washington because they said that our government refused to sell them lethal weapons that would help wipe out Boko Haram. Okay, so now you want us to sell you weapons to help your military wipe out Boko Haram. So now you want us to get involved in something else over here. But yet you complain about our views and our ideals. So now we come and we give you these weapons and we help you out, and then guess what happens the next time?
Yeah, and that's I have a big issue with that, because my whole thing is this. Now let's just put it out there, because we're gonna be honest. We got a truth tell. America's been arms dealing with other countries for forever.
Absolutely.
We've been lending arms and grooming armies for other countries forever. I mean, that's that whole Iraq and Iran piece right there in a nutshell. But I know that we do things because we have interests and resources that we have a tie to for that country.
Right.
So obviously we're not doing it for free. There's some kind of trade and barter going on.
Right.
Whether it's to protect the oil fields or what have you. And we just got to be honest and put it all out there. But what I'm just simply saying is, for people who are so quick to criticize the United States, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be here, you think all the policies are wrong, then why are you here? You could be in another country.
I agree.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Don?
No, I was just saying exactly, amen.
But here again, when I was reading the story, and it said that the United States had ruled out wanting to help Nigeria, you know, arming them because allegedly they have poor human rights record, you know. That and you have to look at that, because here you are, you're giving them this equipment, this artillery, supposedly to help fight within their own internal militant Islamists. But who's to say they're not going to turn that stuff around and use it for something else? And they'll say, hey, we got it from the U.S., we got it from them.
Absolutely.
We have enough enemies. I'm going
to give you a good example. Y'all remember the Rumble in the Jungle fight back in the day when Muhammad Ali was going to fight? I think it was, if I can't believe, was it Buster Love? You can't remember who it was. He was having a huge fight they were doing in Africa. But if you watch the movie, his promoter, Don King, told the guy who at the time was over the country, we want to promote the fight here. We want to have it here. But if y'all going to continue to do all of that, shooting folks up under the stadium while we're trying to put on a fight for American event. Right. And it was in the movie. It was slick. It was quick. But it came out. And I thought, oh, y'all been screwing up for a long time. I mean, a lot of the other countries, not all the African countries, let's just put that on out there.
Right.
Their human rights records aren't very good. But it just goes to show you, you know what I'm saying? We will help to some degree. I mean, we sent in people to help with the 300 girl search,
The light spring go.
but we didn't arm them, huh?
She said lights green go.
Light spring. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm driving, y'all.
But
You look at my nerves.
I just wanted to bring it up because, and not that I'm criticizing, once again, I need to make this clear. This is not about religion, beliefs, or whatnot. I find everybody can believe what they want.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
But don't be mad at me because I don't agree. And I ain't by your bean pie on the corner, and I ain't want your final call. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Okay.
You know, I I have a question. You know, extremists, are they really willing to die for their cause? Now, you know, you have in the suicide bomber, obviously he was, you know, in certain countries, the people really take their beliefs to heart.
Well, absolutely.
I'm going to venture to say, I don't believe in much other than protecting my family, dying for my cause, which means I'm going to try to take you out if you're trying to hurt my family.
Right.
But short of strapping some bomb or some C4 to myself because I'm doing it in the name of anybody, that's not going to happen. See, I'm not an extremist like that. You know, and I don't have that passion for a cause like that. I have
Right.
passion for causes.
Right.
But you got to look at that and say, well, if they're willing to die for their I wouldn't even say country, for their beliefs.
For their beliefs. For the belief
Okay.
system.
I'll venture to say this, and some may disagree. That's a strong mind to have. And if we had just a little bit of that thought, not the thought to die for it, but to have that sense of belief that I want to fight for it.
Right.
You know, have
Right.
that drive and that determination. You know what I'm trying to say?
Right.
You know, if we were able to train our children or train ourselves to have that discipline to want to put it all out on the line, I would like to see what that looks like. Like, you know, I know it's the training, it's some brainwashing, you know, manipulation, abuse.
Right, right.
I'm not saying that's what we should use, the tactics, but it's something that they're doing to get these people to give up their life, their
Right.
families, in the name of whatever they say before they actually do that. Like when they took down the planes, they said before they went down, supposedly they said in the name of. I don't know if it's true or not. I wasn't on the plane. I didn't hear the black
Right.
box, so I'm not going to quote it.
Right.
You know,
right,
but I'm saying, what is it about? Is it the culture? Is it the training? What is it that makes an extremist? You know, go to that point.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that because, and I'm just going to tie this in. I don't know about what makes the extremists, what drives them, although I know from the Islamic side, they're always saying that they're offered 72 virgins once they get to heaven. I mean,
72 virgins when they get to heaven?
Right.
Because you ain't going to find many out here, so maybe that's where they got to go to
So
get them.
I guess. But on a more serious side, you know, the groups, the advocacy groups, and the people that we have here that you always see on the TV or fighting for a cause and whatever, they don't look like what my grandparents looked like in the civil rights. I believe Dr. King, Medgar Evers, all of them, they knew they were going to die young.
Yes.
They already knew.
Yes.
And they were willing
Yes.
to do what they had to do, including lose their lives, in order for our people to have civil rights. Now, I'm not saying they were perfect, and nobody's saying any of that.
Right.
What I am saying is that, to me, is the true indication of somebody who is going to the extreme for the
Agreed.
freedom of their people.
Right.
But when you look at the groups and the people we got out here now, I think it's a watered-down, washed-down version, and that's just my opinion.
Right. And they're
You know
doing
what
it
I
for
mean?
generations to come. They're not even doing it for themselves. They're doing it for their grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren, for people they will
Absolutely.
never meet or never know. You know,
Absolutely.
that's truly the meaning of paying it forward.
Absolutely.
You know?
Because
But now we die for no reason. I mean, I don't get that part.
yeah, when we dine on the corner for sneakers and shoes, and jackets and foolishness, and you know, you took my girl at a concert, so now I'm gonna shoot you down. And
You disrespected me.
All of
Who are
that,
you?
you disrespected.
Who are
Oh,
you?
you a snitch. I'm so sick of that word.
Right,
Oh, you a
right.
snitch. The things that our folks, that our brothers are dying for now, and sisters, not even brothers and sisters, to me is sort of asinine. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. And no wonder when internationals come over here, they have this idea or this thought process or these stereotypes about the black community as a whole. Because they're judging one faction of folks. And that's not the whole situation.
It's not, but I have to agree with them on some levels because I judge too. You know?
Absolutely.
Because when you have other ethnicities come here and they take advantage of the education, they take advantage of the loans, they take advantage of different things like that, you know, people of other ethnicities, they get mad. And they want to talk about them. Oh, you know, they came over here and they took, no, they didn't take anything because you had that same opportunity that they had. You are here. You are from here. And you didn't take advantage of that opportunity. So now you want to be mad that they came and now they have the loans, they have the assistance for homes or food, whatever it is. But they take those opportunities and guess what they do? They turn it into something. They own stores, they own restaurants, they go get the rest of their family, they bring them over here and they put something into the community. While we out here running paying $100 for a pack of weave, or we out here paying, $3 for a cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee or at 7-Eleven. And I'm not trying to be stereotypical, so don't get me wrong. I mean, it may sound that way. I'm just saying what they're doing with their money and what the knowledge and the education that they're getting. They know about loans. They know about programs. You know, they know about home ownership. Some of us have lived here for years, made the money, had the opportunity. We don't go and get a home or invest the money. Some other culture comes over.
Around in our Mercedes in the project.
Listen, okay, living in the basement of mama's house or somewhere.
I'm just saying.
Right, or living in a car.
And I got some rims.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right, because our priorities are screwed up, so we can't blame other cultures for coming over here and taking advantage of opportunities that are already afforded us.
Right.
You know, in education, another question I ask, is education a right or a privilege? It's both.
Definitely.
It's both.
Definitely.
You know, and if we don't take advantage of that education, whether it's book sense, common sense, or being able to talk to someone who has more sense than you do. Definitely. But we don't want to listen to anyone.
You know, it's amazing what we could do. It really is true. Strength comes in numbers. It really is. If our community was whole for a couple of hours, it would be amazing the things that we could accomplish. And I said a couple hours. I didn't even give it a week, but in a week we could shut it down.
Right.
I mean, because I've seen us do some amazing things when we're all on the same accord.
Right. Instead of tearing each other down and blaming the next one.
Absolutely. And our men are so smart. They know men and they know science, and our women are smart and strong. And so we as a community could be doing all kinds of things. You know, just like these entrepreneurs up here that we're with today. These entrepreneurs are holding it down. They do an American dream, but they have their own business, and everyone should be able to have that opportunity.
They have 4 of them, from what I understand. They have 4 locations.
4 of them. I didn't know they had 4 locations, so that's amazing. Oh, yeah, 3? 3? The 4th one's on the way? All right, thank you.
And I heard earlier you're going to have 150 some odd before it's all said and done, right? That's the goal. All right.
I ain't mad.
Okay. And if we can help build it, that's what we want to do.
Absolutely, you guys. Once again, that is 600 Degree Pizza on Old National. 5415 Old National in College Park, Georgia.
And they have other locations, too.
Oh, yeah. Give me the other locations.
Austell, Georgia.
I didn't know. Okay. What we got? We got Austell, Georgia. We got College Park. Where else do we have?
West End.
And the West End. I didn't know y'all were over in the West End, too. Oh, and they got some good food, y'all. I'm just saying.
Right. The pizza was good. I might have to put me an order in for some wings, and we can tell you about that in just a few minutes. You know. But Dawn, let me just ask you, what's your opinion on what keeps us from banding together to make a change? What do you think it is in our communities? Or just let's put it as this: as women, what do you think keeps us as women from empowering each other?
Honestly, I think it's real simple. It's a lot of jealousy and envy, and everybody's trying to compete with each other all the time. And it doesn't always have to be about competition all the time.
Right.
And I hear men say that a lot when it comes to women, that we are always out to compete with one another and outdo the other one. And I mean, it's not like, I know me personally, that's not always, and I do have a very competitive spirit, but that's when I'm playing games. If I'm bowling, if I'm playing pool or whatever, I'm very competitive. But when it comes to us trying to come together to do something, that's exactly what I want to do. You know, I want to compliment, and I want to find out ideas and learn things from other people and have other people learn things from me. But people are too busy being jealous and being envious and trying to outdo this one and that one, that they lose the focus of what is really the most important.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I think that's an awesome point, Dawn.
I agree. I agree with that. I agree 100%. And I think that we've got.
You got to put that. Yeah, you got to put that jealous, envious spirit. You got to take that. I mean, that's just not a good spirit to have. And I mean, I understand you see somebody who's maybe doing better than you, or have more than you have, or they have something that you aspire to have. And I get that maybe you might be like, oh, I wish I, were in that place. But still, you don't have to bring that negative, jealous, envious spirit along with that.
Right. And I have a question. Do you think freedom of speech, we talk about you have the right to say what you want, freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. Should that be applicable in all situations? And I ask that because I saw a show the other day where there's a case where a ventriloquist and his dummy are going to court because his dummy has a Twitter or Facebook account where he touts hate.
Okay.
So he says that his dummy has a right to freedom of speech. Is it Jeff Dunham? Is that the ventriloquist that you're talking about? I'm sorry?
I don't think that's the same.
Is the ventriloquist that you're talking about, that you're speaking of, is his name Jeff Dunham? I'm not sure. It was on The View the other day. I'm not sure what
I'm got to look that
what his name is. But he's actually they have a court date set because he feels like his dummy, and how fitting, him and his dummy, have rights for freedom of speech. And because his dummy has a Twitter or Facebook, whichever account it is, and he touts and hate.
Wow.
So it's really him. It's him doing it, of course. But he's doing it.
I do believe that it is Jeff Dunham that you're speaking of. The only reason I know that is because my band actually played for his wedding a couple years ago in California.
Are you serious?
But I know that he has a ventriloquist, or he has one of his puppets or whatever is not a Nazi, but he's something that does promote hate. So I do believe it's Jeff Dunham that you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look up and see what his name is.
I'm looking that up right now, Don. I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, look up Jeff Dunham. I think that's probably who you guys are talking about.
Dunham. Now, okay, so ladies, what do you think? Is that not going too far? I mean, Kiara, you want to come talk? What do you think, Kiara? Come on, Kiara, come sit over here. We got Kiara over here at 600. Come on over here. Tiara, I'm talking about Kiara. Look, and I ain't even had nothing to drink, y'all. Tiara, what do you think? Freedom of speech. We all have the right. You agree?
The right to freedom of speech. I do agree, but not with that.
That's ridiculousness.
That was too much. That was just too much.
Right. So,
but I watch this show. I'm grown, but sometimes I look at the little kiddie shows or whatever. Sometimes, because it's about the only thing good worth looking at on TV.
Barely.
But it's this show, and this boy, he walks around with the dummy and himself, and they're like in school, and the dummy, he says something and the dummy responds back in his own words. It's like the dummy talks to him,
right?
And and people respond to the dummy as if the dummy is a person.
Really?
Yeah. So maybe that might be what he's doing.
Well, I just looked this up, and it's not Jeff Dunham, Dawn. So this has got to be some other guy that's trying to do this, because Jeff Dunham.
Okay.
I've seen all of them, and they're pretty. Even though they're, every comedy. Comedy hits all areas. Comedy doesn't care.
Right.
You really.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, even though he has some sort of dummy that I've heard about that in that same vein of what you guys were talking about. But I was like, at the same time, though, he does it, in comedy. So, I don't know how you feel about that, but it is, it's still done in comedy.
Wow. This guy's just a plain dummy, and he's just using this dummy as a way to talk about his views and his personal opinions on racism and right, exactly. He's hiding behind that dummy. The dummy hiding behind the dummy.
But I guess what I'm saying is, and let me just put this out here because I just want to be clear. If the guy just talked himself and had a website, that spouted racist things, there are lots of websites like
because
that.
people create blogs all the time.
Would we really be going to court on this? I mean, I don't understand because I need to know who you are, so at least I know how you feel. So I know what I'm dealing with. I could care less what you got to say online. At least you telling me who you are. Exactly. So I know what I'm dealing with. Because I do believe people have a right to say and feel how they want to say.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You don't have to like me. You don't have to like the color of my skin. You don't have to stand next to me. You can move over, hold your purse when the elevator. I could care less. But at least I know who you are.
For freedom of speech?
I think that at this point, that a lot of times when we start, let me just say this. When we are, as a people who have been persecuted a great deal, I'm just talking about African Americans specifically, when we start kind of clinching in and telling people what they can and what they should and what not, then we're even a little bit out of line. Because once again, everybody doesn't have to like you. Everybody have to care about you. You know, they have to respect you, your space, not touch you physically and not harm you. You know what I mean? But they don't have to like you. And most of us who have a little sense of education, just a little, know that certain things you can do, there's other ways to get at you without me dropping down and whooping you behind the head. I can whoop you in your wallet because
several ways to skin a cat.
That's something that folks of other nationalities tend to understand when you hit them where it hurts, their career and their money and their prestige and their assets. See, then that becomes a problem. When you lose your job, then that becomes a problem. And that's exactly what the lesbian and gay community do. They go after people's pocketbooks and their businesses and their establishments. Whether you agree with it or not, that's the way they handle it. Absolutely.
I'm taking the conversations for next week. Save that for next week.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a break, so if you just stay with us, we'll be back in just a few moments with the Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi.
We got Dora Michelle on the phone. And our
T-Baby.
and T-Baby, we're at 600 degrees on All National. Stay with us.
O to the W, what do you see? Or do you simply have a preconceived notion of me? What kind of stereotype formulates? You see? Do you see a million man marching, Barbican following, basketball player called 45 swallowing, can't go to the side when you go to polishing, gospel singing, dope slinging, dress shoe borrowing, public enemy number one, gang sign throwing, open shirt, hairy chest, gold chain showing, plus you always got a mom and a step diet, you always brag about the things that could have hired. Okay, true, you got basketball or run track, boxing and football and all of that. We had tennis and maybe baseball. In fact, we had hockey, not even golf. I hate diet, filthy word saying, revolver spraying, bad credit and bad check, child support paying, and I just don't like your attitude, you're rude. Put it on, they come together, somebody and food, well is it true? Who am I to say? It's up to you. Dedicated to the stereotypes. It's good food, and if it don't just screw, cause it's just like you do. So put back on your loads along with your attitude and let me be who I am in the light. Go make me a victim of stereotypes. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? So when you see a white man, all you say, hey, yo, he's a Marlboro smoking, Budweiser drinking, breath always stinking, religion, like your Ku Klux Klan man, trained to play Hangman of Zero, ready to play hero like Van Damme, and we can blame a man, but look who's dancing, Jeffrey Donald, you Obama, Syria killer like Manson, Harley Davidson, white armor, Syria killer like Manson, Harley Davidson, white is in the back of the 4x4, the volume holes on the floor under the surfboard. The rifle rackets in the back of the truck, over which the Confederate flag, the stuff shucks, the rednecks upset, he's decked in his cowboy boots and hat set, red scarf around his neck. The tummy's hanging over, so the pants sleeves slack. Just enough to show the little crack in the bag. You know what they doing when they spitting and chewing, ready to ruin with that shotgun. Hee-haw, I got one, I aimed and I'll pop one. Man, he was tall, dark, with an attitude and gold tooth, a hot one. You should have seen him mad, yeah, it was sad. But that's just one less runaway down. And at the same time, I'm looking out for yours and mine, cause that's one less black and black crime. But you don't wanna hear that, and I don't wanna hear that. You can cry and lie, deny. You don't wanna hear that, please. Everything ain't peaches and cream. The women see when you wake up in the sunbeam. It ain't right. You can fight the whole darn night, but don't make me a victim of stereotypes. Don't make me a victim of stereotypes. Be safe, don't make him a victim of stereotypes. Just keep it to the O, to the W. Be real. One.
Wanna shout out to my man POW, MF, and that's Martin Ferdinand. Bringing it way back when we was chasing cats. Dog, I wanna let you know, POW, man, that you behind enemy lines. And it's like you, man, I know you can come out. You got a CIB, you don't know what that is, though. Combat infantryman's badge. And I know you gonna come out just like I know you wounded, dog. I see your damn dog tags on the rearview mirror. I know you wounded, cat. That ain't nothing but a purple heart. Keep doing what you're doing, man, and you keep pursuing what you're pursuing. And you gonna make it happen.
What's up, everybody? This is Sharad. Congratulations on your CD, babe. I know it's gonna be hot to death, but do your thing, as we say in the loop. Peace.
Dawn Michelle is somewhere between East Point and College Park. We thank you all for tuning in with us this evening. We ask you again to please go on and like our Facebook page, which is A Queen's Eye View. And also log on to myjbn.com/Queens, lowercase q. That's myjbn.com/Queens, lowercase q. And you can chat with us live online now. So if you don't want to call in and you're just sitting down, you can just send us a message, tell us what your thoughts are, and we'll read them out over the air. Definitely. But if you'd like to talk to us, 678-701-3738, 678-701-3738. Think they got that?
I think they got that.
All right. So we're going to go into our next topic this evening. And I saw something on the news last week about it. There was a young lady that was missing here in Atlanta for a couple of months. Mm-hmm. And she turned up just last week after being missing for a couple of months. And they wondered, well, where was she? What was going on for a couple of months? And normally when a young person or a teenager disappears, they figure they ran away, they met somebody on the internet, again, social media. When it's good, but it's also, it's changing the face of how we look at things, for our young people. But anywho, supposedly the story came out that she was in the sex slave trade for the last couple of months. And we talked about this earlier on this year on our show about the sex slave trade here in Atlanta. I found out 4 very interesting facts. 1, Atlanta is named Sex City, the capital of sexual exploitation in the United States.
Absolutely.
Atlanta, I'll say that again, is known as Sex City, the capital of sexual exploitation in the United States. Fact number 2, Atlanta is known as the #1 hub of human trafficking and child sex exploitation in the United States. Definitely. Fact number 3, instead of traveling to Thailand to have sex with a child, men are now traveling to Atlanta. They are picked up at Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. They're met by a pimp who takes them to have sex with a child sex slave. Then they're dropped off back at the airport. They fly home and have dinner with their family and friends all before nightfall. Just the business.
Just the business.
Okay? And then that was 3 facts. I said there was 4. What was the other one? I don't know. I guess I'm not good at remembering that last one. But the 4th one is that's crazy. Okay, that's a fact. That's crazy. I think of these girls. I was thinking on the way over here. Well, how would they get involved in that? And I said, well, you know what? Some of our children want to be a little fast, you know, they want to date, and kids don't look like they're 12 and 13 now, you know. When they're 12 and 13, they look like they're 16, 17, maybe even older. So I would envision it would look something like this. They're online. They're not supposed to have a Facebook account or chat, text messaging. They meet a guy. He talks to them and say, hey, meet me at the mall. You know, they're unhappy at home. Maybe he convinces them, hey, maybe you come hang out with me. You know, I'll buy you this. I'll do this. They have no idea what ride they're about to take. You know, so he tells them one thing, sells them a wolf dream, and they're unhappy at home. My mom doesn't understand me. I hate my dad. I've got 2 or 3 siblings. I have to do everything. And he makes them a promise. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to give you nice clothes. We're going to have this. But little does she know, right? I'm going to get your nails done, your hair done. Those things that are important to young people at that age. You know, right? You have your own cell phone. You get the latest iPad. Whatever it is that would suck them in. And before they know it, they're in a sex slave trade and they can't get out. They're in their own neighborhoods but can't reach out.
Okay, so let me put some 2 cents into this since this is my profession and my business. The first thing I want to say is this. What I need people to understand in Atlanta is that the sex slave trade is not in the hood on the south side like everybody thinks. It is in the suburbs. It is in the suburbs. It is in the rural parts of Georgia. It is everywhere that people would think that it's not going on. See, what people don't understand is back in the day when we was in Atlanta and I was a little younger, I'm about to age myself, you know, we used to have an old street, now they call it Metropolitan Ave. That was Stewart Ave. And you used to see the girls walking up and down the Ave because we had the strip club there, Nikki's, on the corner. And you saw women and all kinds of folks being prostituted. If you go up on Metropolitan Ave right now, you don't see nobody out there doing nothing. The sex trade is all online, internet-based. Craigslist, Backdoor, all these things are done now electronically. Money is passed electronically. Dates are set up electronically. Nobody's standing around looking a hot mess on the corner. And if you see that, you know, that's the old school terminology. We used to be like, that's the old hoe. She been in the trade for a long time.
Right.
She still hits the corners every now and then. The kids, they don't do that. And these kids are normal, everyday kids. It doesn't mean they're coming from broken homes.
No.
It doesn't mean they're getting beat.
No.
It doesn't mean they're getting sacrificed. Now, we do have a group of girls who are at risk, and boys, I need to make this clear, and boys who are at risk, who are in bad homes. And we have parents who pimp their own kids because of lack of resources, utilities, rent, food, and whatnot. So trust me, that happens. But what I want to give people a good picture of is it's not what you think. Stop watching the hookers on the porn on HBO
or Hunts Point in the Bronx,
because that's not what it is. It's the average middle class kid, white, green, blue, and by the way, white girls on the street are worth way more. Just to let you know, a little bit of more commodity. It is what it is. If you can pull one of them out their house, then it goes Hispanic, Asian, and African American. These are regular, everyday kids who just want attention, who want things, who get caught up. And these guys don't just tell them a few things in a day. They school them. They groom them.
And they use them to bring other girls, bring their friends. And that's how they bring them in.
And they use them to recruit. So that's just my 2 cents.
And use drugs and other things to also do it. So my question is this. Slavery, does it still exist? So, you know, slavery, we talked about the sex slave, but overall, does slavery still exist? And is it a state of mind or a state of being? So we can go a little deeper in that. Because I believe that slavery is, for some of us, it's truly a state of mind. For some. I mean, and it's based off of a state of being, because that's where we may have come from, but that's not where we are necessarily now.
Right.
I think that we keep ourselves in prison and we keep that mindset. You know, exactly. We keep that mentality, just like Kiera just said. We keep that Tiara. I keep calling Kiera. Just like she just said, T-Baby just said. We keep that mentality.
Right.
You know, and I truly, do you agree with that?
I agree.
Do you agree with that?
Completely. It is a state of mind.
Right.
It is a state of mind.
Right, and we constantly want to blame someone else for our shortcomings and our downfalls. I think what we need to do is just take a look in the mirror, because I know what I'm not doing and what I should be doing. It has nothing to do with T-Baby. It has nothing to do with HRA over here. It's me. Right, the white man keeping me down.
Right.
He didn't keep you from getting up this morning and going to look for a job.
Absolutely.
He didn't tell you not to pull your pants up.
Right.
Or take all that, what they call that stuff in your mouth now? The grill fronts?
Oh, yeah, the grills. Yeah.
The grill fronts?
Whatever? You mean the ones you can take out? The partials, the pull-outs.
Oh, pull-outs. Okay, pull-outs. Right. See, I don't even know what that means. That meant something else in my day, to pull out. I'm just saying.
I'm saying. Oh, Lord.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. But seriously, and I just wonder that. And how do we change that mindset? How do we, we talk about all the time about mentoring to our young people, talking to our young men and our young women at an early age. But suppose they're past that early age. Suppose they're past that age of that 3 to 5, when whatever you teach them then, that shapes their core. I have a son that's 22 years old.
Right.
I'd like to think I've been influential on a lot of levels, but if I was going to be transparent like I try to be here, I'm not that influential in his life at this point. Where he is now is where he is. And that's through some things I've shown him, good and or bad. And some things that he's learned just on his own, some things he's learned from his friends, and some things he made up his mind that I'm not going to do, or because this happened, I'm not. So I just would like to think that somewhere somebody would show him or talk to him, or that there's some common sense that he would utilize, or maybe he's learned something from a pattern that I had, a good trait, a good quality, because I'm not perfect. I tell him I fault and I make mistakes, and I think that if we could show our children that we are human, if we can give them the good, the bad, and the ugly, even some things that we did that we're not proud of, if we could share that with them, I think that would just change an outlook. Not tell them about, oh, I know Mary, she used to, sell her body, or she used to do that. I'm not going to say you're going to tell your kid, hey, I used to do this, but hey, I know about tricking. I know about things. I know people. I've been in this game. I've been around folks. We just got to put it out there, because, hell, they could Google your name and find out what you did. Right.
By my mom being so upfront with my 16-year-old brother, it's a lot of stuff. He's like, no, I'm okay.
You got the other mic?
I'm good. I don't want to deal with it.
Right.
So I think it's very good to be upfront.
One of the things that I hear.
Change the mindset. You can tell them something that'll make them think.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry. Dead hair, go, T-Baby, go on and say what you were saying.
I just said that I think it's okay to be upfront with your kids, because, I don't think that you can change the mindset, but you can tell them some things to make them think twice. That's it.
Definitely.
And we got Chelsea in here this evening, too, and we're going to give her the mic so she can weigh in on this. She said, no. I said, they can't see you. I'm not going to tell her it's going to be on YouTube so we can hear her back later on. But no, come on, Chelsea, say something. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I totally agree with T-Baby, in all honesty. Like, I have an 8-year-old myself, and he can ask me a question, and I just keep it real with him. The world nowadays is crazy. And if you go out there in the blind really not knowing, then, you really just don't know how your child's going to react to a situation like that. So I totally agree. Absolutely.
Sometimes you don't want to reveal yourself, but you need to be transparent.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
You want to add something to this, or you try to pretend like you listen to your? I see you trying to hide. Why you not gonna say that?
I'm okay. Yes, I'm fine. Thank you.
But do you agree with our point?
Yeah, I agree. Although I don't have any kids of my own, I've helped raise a lot, and whether they're nephews or little brothers or little sisters or anything like that. So that's the way I've been. I've kept it real with them, and they're doing much better than I was. So at least they're doing better. So.
See, he didn't want to say anything, y'all. I got him to say something. But it's true. We have to lead by example. I truly believe that we need to lead by example.
Definitely. But one of the key things that everybody has said that is in common is you all have to take the time. See, the problem is a lot of us are working, we're doing 2-3 things. And black men and women, we work hard. Some of us are holding 2-3 jobs. Some of us got a lot of stuff going on in our lives. And just to get home in time to tuck a child in can be difficult. Let's just put it out there. But what I've heard from the young people that I mentor that have either been in the game or who I'm trying to keep out of the game is I didn't get the time. My dad didn't have time for me. My mama was always saying, be quiet, go in the other room, go watch the TV, play your game. You know what I'm saying? They didn't take the time. And I think we can be examples, but we do have to give our children time. And that's my issue. You know, a lot of people have kids, but that don't mean they parents. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't take time to talk and have these conversations, no matter how they be like, oh, Dad, that's embarrassing. I don't want to talk about this. But trust me, the fact that you had the conversation makes a big deal.
Put it on your mic. You got to flip it on. Flip T, baby. Okay.
I was the opposite. Both of my parents are in my life, my mom and my dad. And I got into a lot of trouble coming up. A lot. Like, I got the time, the tucks in the bed, the good night kisses, the dinners every night,
the help with the homework,
7 days a week, the help with the homework. I was very popular in school. I had every shoe, everything I wanted. I still got in trouble.
Why do you think that is?
I think it was the influence from my.
Was it Chelsea? Look.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I come from the same, background, blessed, totally blessed. But I chose, to get out there in the hood and do what I did in the streets. I'm the same way, but it's just the choices that you decide that you make. It doesn't matter, I guess in some aspects, my parents, they definitely instilled, but they didn't know as far as the streets was concerned. So it's like, okay, what y'all not telling me about, I'm finna go find out about it.
Exactly.
So that's how you learn about it. But I come from the same background, baby, like totally blessed.
Right.
I mean, it's all in your parents, like you said, sitting down, talking to you, trying to let you know what's going on. Absolutely, absolutely.
But I'm sorry, Shay, go ahead.
Okay, and I find what you ladies just said is actual and is factual. I think it comes from a place where you could have everything could be going just so well, but you want to find out on your own. You just want to see this is good, that's good, but I just want to see what else there is. Because you could take the path of least resistance and do everything right. See, fortunately, I was that kid that went home after school, changed my clothes. I went to college, I was changing my clothes, having a snack, doing my homework. Everybody else was running around. They were like, what are you doing? I said, I got to change my clothes. They was like, you don't have to change your clothes? I said, you mean I can keep this on? There's like play clothes? They were like, oh my God. But I think that made me who I am today, but it also stifled me somewhat because there's a lot of things I didn't get to do that I didn't live out on the edge with. And as I get older now, well, that's another show. But anyway, I think that as parents, we can't hold ourselves, like you ladies just said it perfect. Your parents were good parents. We can't hold ourselves responsible for everything that our children do. We can lead by example, we can set that stage, but at the end, the decision is the child's or the person's. So there's choices and decisions. Back to our topic today, there are choices and decisions that we make as individuals. And when you guys make those choices and decisions, I used to tell my son from early on, for every action is a reaction, there's consequences.
Right.
That was the first word he learned to spell at about 3.5, was consequences. So when you got in trouble and you got, discipline or spanked, there's consequences. And I'm hoping that he still understands that there are consequences for those behaviors.
Well, I just wanted to put out there that the children and the teens that we work with in our organization, they did not have happy homes. They did not have stable situations. Most of them did not. I'm just keeping it real. So the fact that you say somebody tucked you in or even just took the time to maybe help you with a math problem, that's not their reality. A lot of the girls that I met, their mamas had them working on the street when they were 12 because they had to figure out how to get food in the house. So what I'm saying, they had been using their bodies from young ages. And at this point in Atlanta, I think the youngest we've seen that we've found that has actually been picked up has been 11 years old out there in the street. Now, and I know that could be younger, and that's the recorded. I'm not talking about what's not recorded. I'm talking about what's recorded. So the average, the youngest that they've seen recorded is at 11. So what I'm simply telling you all is just everybody's reality is not the same. So the fact that you guys, you maybe had that experience, but obviously you trained up a child and they came back around because of the way you all are talking to me now. If these kids had even had an inkling of that, maybe they wouldn't have been where they are. So, we do have to continue to be an example, whether it's for your kids or somebody else's, because you never know how you affect somebody who sees you in the street or, who looks up to you. You don't know who looks up to you. You have no idea. So I commend you ladies for, telling your story and just kind of putting that out there, Shay.
And I believe, you know what, and I also believe it's never too late. It's never too late to get it right. You always have a chance. No matter how bad it is, no matter where you are in your life now, you still have an opportunity. We all make choices and decisions, and they're not always the best ones. We make mistakes, but again, to the God of my understanding, I know that he's a forgiving God and that he gives second chances and third chances. And unfortunately, people are not like God. We don't forgive as easy. And we definitely don't forget. Well, I ain't gonna forget. I tell you the truth. I don't forget. I'm learning the forgiveness part, but I ain't gonna forget. Okay, I'm holding that because I wanna remember so that I won't make that same mistake again. I wanna learn from it. I'm not gonna hold it against you. If I say I forgive you, I'm gonna forgive you. But I damn sure ain't gonna forget. So just as a learning lesson. So don't y'all do me wrong because I'm gonna remember it, and I may share the story one day. So you might not want to tune in on that night, But seriously, choices and decisions, I believe we all have them, and we can change, and we can do anything midstream. Every day that you wake up, you get new grace and new mercy.
Definitely.
Definitely. I was just reading something, shifting gears. I was just reading here. It says there are more than 12 million human beings. And we're going to talk about those 12 million human beings after this break. So if you stay with us, we'll be right back with the Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi.
And we're a Queen's Eye View. Dawn Michelle's out there too. Come on, Dawn.
Come on back.
All right. Stay with us.
Cause I may not be the best poet you've ever heard or that you'll ever hear. My orations rarely command overt ovations or demand that poetry fans stand and loudly cheer when I walk in poetry spots amongst the perms, the bald heads, the head wraps, and the dreadlocks. With other poets I strike conversation and not fear in their hearts, cause that's not why I came here. I usually have a message in my soul that I just can't seem to hold. That's why I speak slow, speak loud, and speak clear. So forget slams and forget poems about how great I am. Let's choose to talk about the real issues that face you and me. Like, let's talk about why black women are the #1 carriers of HIV, why black men pretend they don't read Elin, then covertly engage in an invisible life. Oh, sure, he's straight by day, but he's gay by night, and secretly he's sneaking the virus home to his wife. And since we're talking, let's talk about Reasonable Doubt. Not the first CD by Jay-Z, but the trial scene used as a means to railroad Al-Amin. I mean, did anyone hear the particulars of the profile of the perpetrator that the police officer said he'd seen and shot? Cause that was not H. Rap Brown, but every objection and every redirection got shot down like King on a balcony in Tennessee. Like Malcolm X addressing y'all in a New York City conference hall, or like Panthers seeking answers and demanding respect. But these days we buy the lies and we settle for less. Get pacified with bullshit $300 tax refund checks. All the while Al-Amin's been given a living sentence of death. But we all sit silently and none stand bereft, with ziplocs on our mouths so we won't waste our breath and we won't waste our time. I hear Malik Salam scream and show me polygraphs and timelines, but he's a lone voice shouting into the darkness, and we're going to have to talk about this. We're going to have to read about this. We're going to have to go home, educate our seeds about this, because a day is coming soon when we'll have to bleed about this. And while we're talking, let's speak the truth about those who steal our children's youth. The culprit ranges from the internet to R. Kelly, the Catholic priest, in the pulpit. And it's apparent that the #1 corrupter of a child is a parent. I mean, let's tell the truth. If you let your 14-year-old daughter leave the house in 6-inch go-go boots and she's had more sex in her short lifetime than Luke and Dr. Ruth combined, then yes, I blame you. And that shit ain't cute. And if you let your 10-year-old leave the house wearing mascara and she's dancing in the street like a future stripper of America in shorts that you cut into Daisy Dukes, then yes, I blame you. And that shit is not cute. And if your 4-year-old can't walk right, can't talk right, but every time a car with a loud system drives by, she breaks into this flawless rendition of The Butterfly, and you tap your friends like, oh, look what she can do. They should slap the hell out of you and be like, that shit is not cute. If you got 3 kids by the age of 18 with no means to support them other than to leave them with your mother, while you at 112 looking for another lover, shaking your ass and your stretch marks in the dark, drowning your sorrow and self-esteem in a glass of 90 proof, then there's other things we need for you to do. There's mother things we need for you to do. And 9 times out of 10, in most of these kids' lives, there are no men, except the revolving door of boyfriends. The cat your kids call uncle who comes by now and then, usually after 10. And for most little girls, 30% of mothers' boyfriends end up molesting them. And who can they turn to? Not you, because you're never there, so they turn to the radio, where rap and R&B's message of misogyny is so prevalent and clear it will damn near rape your ear. Or they turn to TV, where MTV is preaching so much sexuality and androgyny is reshaping morality in a way that worries me. Or they turn to the church, where you're met by hypocrites half of the time. What good is an open door if you've got a closed mind? I need y'all to hear me clearly like piano in the dark as I go against all odds, like Phil Collins or the late Tupac, or like a Muslim facing down a tank with nothing but Allah and a rock. I need your undivided attention like Rottweilers when they bark, as I try to make you think about change like a bum in a park. I'm trying to hit you in your brain like the Huns when they fought. I'm trying to get under your skin like a gun when it sparks. When I'm done, I'll be stage right, and if you want, we can talk.
Good evening and welcome back to A Queen's Eye View. We hope you enjoyed that during the commercial break. We hope you really listened to that. That was some deep words there by that brother.
Definitely. And tonight we're broadcasting live from 600 Degrees Pizza on Old National, 5415 Old National Highway in College Park, Georgia. And it is some really good pizza, y'all. I'm just keeping it real. I got to try the wings, too. I'm going to get there at some point. Go ahead, Shay.
We just thank you again for joining us, really, at A Queen's Eye View. We just ask you also to please go on and like our Facebook page, tell your friends about us, and if you log on to myjbn.com/Queens lowercase q, that's myjbn.com/Queens lowercase q. You can also view previous shows going all the way back to April. So we ask you guys just to go in and check it out, listen to some of the shows, tell your friends about it, and even make some comments if you wish. You know, I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi.
And Dawn Michelle is somewhere out there in listening land, and we're A Queen's Eye View. And again, we thank you for your time, and we appreciate you. What we were saying before we went to break, I was just going to make a few numbers and say that there are actually more than 12 million human beings and more than 1 million children that are forcibly enslaved and trafficked worldwide. It has turned into a $32 billion illegal industry. And I think that's shameful. I really think it's just despicable to think that someone is being, you know, when we talk about slavery, we talk about what's right, what's wrong, but to say that you're being enslaved for sex, that you're being forced as a child or even as an adult at any time, you know, that I think that that's just shameful.
Interesting thing about it is there's more trafficking going on in the U.S. than people think, and right up under their nose. Last year, I have a conference every year, and our Child Abuse Conference last year featured Chong Kim. If anybody gets a chance and Googles this young lady, she was coming out of a bad home, and she moved to a small town in the Midwest, and she went out with some friends one night, met a nice guy, had a great date for about a week or so. They started dating kind of hot and heavy. And then one day he said, I'm going to take you on a ride and we're going to do something together, sweetie. And he drove her. And then when she woke up, she was in shackles and she was now enslaved. That happened in Texas, not in Thailand, in Texas. Wow. So the reality of the situation is the slave trade is not just going on internationally, it's going on nationally. And if you see things out of the ordinary, if you see a child that looks in distress with a person, or a young girl or a young boy, because young boys are being snatched as well, we need to put order. But when you see, and I just have this thing for children where I see everything is a flag for me because of my business. Please, if you don't do anything else, just call the police and say, this is what I saw, this is the car I saw. It just doesn't look right. I just want to put it out there because you all do not know how helpful these little bitty tips that the crime line gets are to solving these cases.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
I saw a show, well, Law and Order is my show, but I saw a show like that where a little girl was being held against her will, and no, it wasn't Law and Order, it was Blue Bloods, and the lady made eye contact with the little girl, and she noticed something was different, and the little girl had left a note. So you're right, you have to be aware of your surroundings and pay attention to things, you know, because it is happening. You know, Atlanta was once known as the Black Mecca and known for this, known for that. It's shameful to be known for the #1 in sex trafficking. You know, we've gone from one extreme to another. You know, from being known to for blacks being, you know, upward and
mobile.
Exactly, doing things and
entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And now we're known for where children are being sold into the sex slave trade, and you know, for Bankhead Highway, which is now Hallowell Parkway.
Absolutely. You know, we got to give you the old school name and the real one.
Right. You know, but to know that downtown in Atlanta, we may be having this huge conference, or we've got things going on, bringing millions of dollars into the city, but that's when it happens.
Absolutely.
That's when your children are being taken. Our children are being taken because these men have these fetishes and they have these preferences, and they have children their own about the same age.
You know, every year we have major concerts, major conferences, business conferences from all over
the Olympics was here?
The world, the globe. All-Star Weekend. I never forget the year we had All-Star Weekend in here. A lot of people got in trouble, including APD, who was escorting people around and they shouldn't have been.
Yes.
But a lot of the sex trade went on during that couple of days, you know, from hotel to hotel. Because once again, people feel like they can do something in town and then discreetly leave town.
Absolutely.
And there's no evidence of it. But you need to be careful on these sites. I tell guys all the time, if you're trolling for women on Craigslist and you see too many ads, be careful, because you may be talking to the feds, you may be talking to an agent. You need to be careful.
Yes.
And I'm saying that to men and women, because both men and women troll these sites. People are lonely. They're looking for companionship. Then they're looking for all kinds of things. But you don't know what you're going to come up on. And you just need to be careful. And I'm not just talking about children. I'm talking about adults as well, because adults are getting yanked too.
Yeah.
It all depends upon how vulnerable you, in a situation you put yourself in, and how susceptible you may be. Because if you're looking for one thing, and I need to tell y'all this because I'm a Craigslist fan. I buy everything I can off Craigslist. But it's so interesting. A good friend of mine was like, Heidi, when you go these places, you can take somebody with you. Because you don't know if somebody's going to rob, steal, or kidnap you.
Right.
They could be saying, I'm selling you these purses. But when you get there,
they want to steal your purse.
They want to steal your purse and steal you. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just be careful, be aware, and definitely be internet aware, especially if you have children.
Do you remember that show? I can't think of the name now, where they would hide in the house where the people would set up online to meet the kids, and when they would come out there, they would bust in the guy.
To Catch a Predator.
Was that? Yeah, To Catch a Predator. Crime show. I would watch that every week because I just didn't understand why people were so stupid. If you knew this show was out there, and half the time they asked these perpetrators, did you know that this show was? Do you know that we do this? Do you know that this happens? Yes. Have you seen this show before? Yes. I mean, they know they're underage. They show up with alcohol, condoms, toys, or whatever type of thing. One guy even showed up with his young child in tow. You know, drove 3 hours to catch a predator. I mean, really? There's a show, and every week it's on, and so many, and the police officers are out there, and they catch him and they haul him off to jail.
Right.
I mean, and that's just only stopping a few of them.
But that tells you how much of a fetish and desire it is for young children. Young children. I mean, it is a what I was talking to a friend of mine who was in nationally, and he was saying, this is commonplace. This is not across seas. This is something that people kind of just started to take as a part of the lifestyle in these other countries, which is really bad, Shay.
It's horrible.
Because they pretty much got used to it.
Do you think it started from maybe like internet, like porn? You know, because, you know, before you would hear about child porn or you know, pornography, and people would look at that. And I think it went from just a fetish of that to now they actually had to have it. You know, before they could watch it on a video or a videotape or live chats, and now they actually feel like they have to have this now.
What I think
because there became a demand for it.
I think it's just like drugs. You get a taste of something and you want another type of high. But the problem is you never quite get back to that initial high
That
that
first
you
high.
initially had.
That's right.
So you do extreme things to get off. You're choking. You know, that's the big thing. You're choking
No,
yourself.
I don't know, Heidi. Is that really?
That's what
No.
life. You need to watch Lifetime movies.
I don't know about Lifetime or is it that your time, but we'll talk about that later. I'm just
No.
saying.
I'm saying you're trying to do more things to get off and to get bigger highs. And at some point it gets out of control. And
Right.
at a point it does become a fetish.
Wow, I just
It
think
is
of,
what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. But when you're messing with children, I mean, there are adults who do those things for you. You know, there's adults who are dressed like a child. So I've heard. You know, there are so many different
And
things
there's
that you get people
adults
to
who
do.
dress like little animals, the furries. You know, you forgot about that. They dress up.
Forgot
as
about that. I
animals.
ain't know nothing about that, Heidi.
Okay, see, then you ain't been watching your Law and Orders, Shay.
I watched. Maybe I slept on that episode.
They dress up as stuffed animals to have sex, and they have orgies, but they don't want people to know who they are. They're doctors, lawyers, teachers, all kinds of people who have this fetish. Shay, I'm gonna need you to watch more SVU, Law and Order.
I do watch it, but I guess I was sleeping on that episode. And I know those are based off of real shows, but you're right.
Right.
Because people do have fetishes, but you know what's happening now? They're becoming acceptable almost.
Right.
You know, because they're
Like
talking about them.
commonplace.
It's common. But the things that could be acceptable are looked down upon. You know, things that, you know, whatever. For instance, interracial marriage. You know, people still frown upon stuff like that, but you're going to frown upon that, but it's acceptable for somebody to do fetish things like this?
Right.
You know?
Right,
Or have these swinger parties I've heard about. I'm just saying.
Shay.
Oh, what?
Remember where we are? We in ATL.
Right, but okay, look, I'm learning things. I'm learning about here where we're the number one with the sex trade and sex trafficking. You know, with these swingers party. You know, I just think swingers with everybody just go out to hang out.
Look at T-Baby face.
T-Baby, turn on her mic, y'all. Hold on, turn on the mic, T-Baby.
Turn on the mic, T-Baby.
Me personally, I love swingers. They are awesome.
As long as they're consenting adults.
Right. Absolutely.
We're going to give T-Baby her own show.
Yeah, I already talked about it. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming real soon.
We're going to give ATL by T-Baby. College Spog.
Definitely.
No, but seriously, you know, on a serious note, I believe, we have a caller. That's Dawn, probably. Hey, Dawn, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, hey.
Just in time.
We talking about swingers and things.
And fetishes
and how people just don't get enough. They can't stop it. Before men used to have a fetish of having pretty feet. You know, they used to like nice toes, and they might want to kiss your toes. And then Heidi was talking about she into choking.
I didn't say that shit.
Oh, ouch.
It's great, is what it is.
Everybody in here looking at Heidi now.
She's so wrong.
It's
I'm
great.
That Shay. Dawn, did you hear her trying to put me under the bus?
She's talking about asphyxiation. That's all I remember.
No, we were just talking about how now people do more extreme things to get off, and it's like a high. It's like you hit that first drug, your high is never the same, which is what it
Right.
is. It's an addiction. It's never the same from the first time. We tell people that all the time. It's not going to be the same high. You ain't going to get it. But you continue to do these crazy things in order to get higher and higher or to get off, and that's basically what a fetish is.
That's like I think some people cheat because they want to go back. I'll use men because it's a queen's eye view, so I'm going to talk about you men. Y'all can look at me if y'all want. Let me turn my back. Look. They can look at me if they want. But look, it's like if you're in a relationship with someone, right? And you meet her and she's in her 30s and she looks good and everything works well. Well, when she gets a little older, things may not work as well. She may gain a little weight. Then you start wandering with your eye, and then you start wandering with your thoughts. Next thing you know, you want to change, turn that 50 in for 225s. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the problem because you're still trying to get that feeling back. But what you don't realize, men, you getting old too. And we want to turn your tail in too for something. And it ain't
But you know what? On the flip side of that, though, Shay, I don't know if you ladies got the opportunity to see Addiction. It was a movie that was out a while ago, not too long ago. It was based off of Zane's book.
Yeah, but don't tell a story. We're going to have to cut you.
Don't tell a story, Dawn.
Oh, I can't even at least tell you the premise.
Yeah.
Okay, so the premise was the young lady in the movie was a sex addict, and she, you know, she stepped out on her husband. Several other things happened, and I'm not going to tell so that you guys won't, so that I don't ruin the movie for you. But yeah, she was a sex addict, and I mean, she literally had to go and get help for that.
Right.
So just to kind of take up for the fellas a little bit, you know, it can happen to women too. But what I get upset about is what really makes me furious in that conversation is, okay, a man cheats, okay, he cheats on you, you forgive him, you take him back, he says he's not going to do it anymore, but then he goes and does it again. See, my whole thing is, okay, look, this is what you need to do. You need to, in the words of Michael Jackson, look at the man in the mirror.
No, beat it.
And if you know that is something that you gonna want a little dibble dabble, you gonna want a chocolate cupcake, and you gonna want a strawberry cupcake, and you gonna want a red velvet cupcake, and you gonna want banana nut cupcake. Okay, you just need to not be in a relationship. So then you can have all the flavors of cupcakes that you want. But don't tell the girl that you not gonna cheat anymore, but you know you greedy and you know you got that urge and that itch to do it. Just be honest with yourself and then and step away.
We got you, girl.
And people don't do that. People don't do that. They don't do that. They want to hold on to that person that they love. And I'm not going to say that because they cheated they don't love them, because they could still genuinely love that person, but they have something that they need to fulfill, and being in a serious, committed relationship does not help them fulfill the other things that they want to fulfill. So then you have to make a choice. And people don't want to do that. They don't want to make choices. They want to continue hurting people. And that's what I get upset about.
Well, since you're going to tie that in, because we are talking about the choices and decisions you make, we all grown adults here. So if you want to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 16 folks, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, like you said, which is basically what I'm hearing you say, if you're not going to keep it real,
Mike said that's good.
Tell them that's what you want. That's where the problem is.
Communication, being honest.
Communication. Because most women, when you really communicate.
Right, honestly and openly.
Right. You'll be surprised.
Because I'm going to find out anyway.
They not want to put up with. But you don't know if you just keep them in the dark. And I think that's what you were trying to say.
May I ask you a question, my brother? Are you an effective communicator?
I don't know.
You say, you don't know?
I guess I'm okay.
You guess you're okay?
Nah, Mike, that ain't no good answer. Nah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have
should
a problem?
know. You should know.
No, seriously. You say, yeah. Do you have a problem communicating what you want and when you want it to that person that you're seeing?
I don't have a problem with it.
So if you were interested in a couple people at a time, would you explain that to that first person?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it.
Okay, will she have a problem with it?
I will communicate that, though. Then that's how you find that out. If that's what I wanted at that particular time, then I'm going to say, hey, look, this is what I'm thinking about trying to do. Let's hook this up for my birthday or Christmas present or something like that.
Well, all right. He said, look, just hook it up for my birthday or a Christmas present and I'm done. May I ask you a question, my brother? The question is, would you have a problem communicating that with someone you were dating about what exactly you wanted?
No, you got to communicate.
So you're saying you do communicate effectively and tell exactly what you want?
Yeah, but, sometimes you have to satisfy the woman, make her happy. So, you don't tell her everything she want to hear.
Oh, so commission by omission? Is that what you're saying?
Don't put me in the back. Don't put me in the corner.
I'm not putting you in the corner. I didn't say your name, Tyrone. Well, I'm going to slide on over here to Smiley, and I'm going to ask him the same question here. Do you have a problem communicating effectively to your lady?
No, I don't.
Does she have a problem receiving it?
Well, right now I'm single, so, All right, Lady Smiley Single, come on down to 600 Old National.
I'm telling you, man, we probably all have had experiences where we've been in relationships with men who are bad communicators, and I'm telling you, that can be one of the most frustrating things in the world, to be in a relationship with a guy who is not a good communicator. It is so frustrating. Okay.
But
very frustrating.
But you know what, Dawn? I think part of the problem is, too, women, we don't want to listen. Because a man will tell you what he wants and what he doesn't want, and we're still trying to get him to see things our way, and we don't want to listen. So I'm gonna just keep it real. We think we could change them. We think we better than that last one. We could change their mind. And I'm just letting you ladies know you don't have nothing different than the other one, guys. Absolutely. That's just the way I'm saying. I'm just keeping it real.
We have.
T-Baby said, you can leave men alone and come on down. That's next week's show, same-sex relationships.
You done moved ahead, T-Baby.
But do you agree that women sometimes don't want to know the truth?
A lot of times. Yes.
That's true.
Not at all.
That's true.
Right.
But does that still deter you?
I truly agree with that because I'm gonna give my reason why.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. We got it. Come on, Tyrone want to say something.
Yeah, Tyrone want to say something. Hey, but really, like you want to tell them the truth, they can handle it, but you can handle the truth more than they can. A man can. But when you tell a female, then when they really think about it, they be 38 high. 38 and a quarter high. Yeah, 38 quarter high. Right. But they made it. 38
high. But you know what? I gotta say.
That go both ways too. A lot of men can't handle that either.
Come on, give me some data.
A lot of men can't handle that either. Now, you just got to look at it both ways. And sometimes it's the same way around. Cause see, when you actually really look at it, sometimes they won't tell you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. Because they know that you were not probably able to handle that. So it go both ways.
And I have to agree with James over here because that's the truth. I had a situation like that where I had to tell a guy the truth, and he thought I was being cruel and I was being mean. But I feel like if you be honest and if you tell the truth up front, you don't have any doubt. You could be mad because they told you the truth, but you can't be mad because they didn't lie to you.
Yeah, was it good to you? Not really, but anyway, you asked.
Right.
Wow.
Say what? My grocery list? I finished my grocery list.
Let me. Yeah, we see that. That was wrong.
Okay, we got the king's eye view on here now.
No, here's the thing I would say about the men wanting to hear the truth. This is where the difference is. If you tell a man, if you're a female, we gonna let the gentleman say it here. If a woman tells a man when they first meet, I'm not interested in a relationship, I just want to be around with multiple people, 9 times out of 10, dude will be like, oh, so we gonna still be able to get together and do whatever? And you, okay. But if you get into a relationship with that man and then you go out and cheat, that's what just like y'all were talking about before, how men are very rare to forgive once that woman has committed to them. Well, that's my point.
Maybe she's changed her mind. Maybe hold on now.
The truth is the truth,
to change our mind.
When you tell the truth, if you tell a man that truth, he's going to take it a whole lot differently than if you just tell him that from the beginning that that's what you want.
But you may not want that in the beginning. After you start talking to them, you realize make my way out of this here. So you may go in, but you're right. I agree with you 100%. And you go in being honest. You go in being honest. Absolutely. Because men, y'all got game because y'all don't come in being totally honest either. Y'all don't right. You need to be upfront and honest.
Right. A lot of times they can't handle that, and they want more than what you're willing to give.
And one thing about a female, she want that time.
Right, that's the thing. A woman wants one time.
Yep.
Right. And especially when the holidays come up. Yeah, man. That man. Look. T-Baby says she break up with her women during the holidays. But no, right. But again, there's choices and decisions.
These are choices and decisions.
These choices and decisions that we make, as a whole. There's choices and decisions that we made. But I just want to tell you guys that next week, you know, there's still so much to talk about in choices and decisions, but we're going to wrap it up now. But next week, we want you guys to join us because we want to go further into choices and decisions. You know, we're going to talk about same-sex couples next week. You know, love and acceptance. Who has the right to decide who you love and how you love them? Do you believe what you know or what you hear? You know, everyone has a choice and everyone has a story. What's yours? So next week, we're going to be live, and we're going to talk to some couples, we're going to talk to some singles, and we're going to talk about that.
And Don, we are going to talk about next week, you know, whether or not you stand by your man or woman in a marriage. Are you really standing for better or for worse? Because that is a hot topic this week. We have a lot of folks on it, and I know you want to talk about that, Don, correct? Did we lose Don? Okay. So definitely, please stay tuned next week. It is going to be a hot show. Go ahead.
So we just say, walk into your destiny. We all have the right to choose, left or right, up or down, life or death. So we thank you for joining us this evening in Queen's Eye View. I'm Shay.
I'm Heidi. I'm T-Baby.
And we got Mike. And we thank him for allowing us to host here at 600 Degrees Pizza at 5415 Old National Highway. I thank James and Tyrone and Bob over here.
And Mike.
and Mike over there. Woo-hoo.
Making the pizza. I'm going to need to taste some wings, bro. I'm just saying.
Right. So join us next week. Stay tuned. We thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. Be blessed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Missy, she too much for me. I'm freaky.